What is up, everyone? This is Nimbo, and today we're going to be checking out Refractalizer, brand new plugin from Datamind Audio. And I have to say, I am in love with this plugin. It's so cool. If you're like me and you like to throw paint at the wall with your sound design and kind of try to make interesting moments happen with a lot of chaos, you're really going to like this plugin. I mean, I've been getting such interesting results out of it, and that's without even diving too deep into the nuances of it. Just with changing a few of the surface level parameters all at once and assigning macros, you can get very, very cool results that is really going to take your music to the next level, I think, and kind of give you that texture that you may have been looking for. So before I dive in, I'll just recommend that you check out Datamind's YouTube page. They have a really handy walkthrough where they show you each and every parameter and knob, what it's doing. It's a great launching point before you get started. So, first thing when you open up Refractalizer is you're going to want a sample to put into here. That's what is going to drive all the audio. So here's what I came up with. So that is a current patch. So it's cool, but it's a little vanilla and not too much movement happening as time goes on. It might get stale. So that's when you might want to throw it into Refractalizer. So as soon as you do, you're going to get so many different uses out of what comes out. And when you do open it up, I really recommend you follow your ear, because dependent on the sound that you do load into the sample, you're going to want to find all the knobs that make you lean in, just sort of give everything a little twist, a little adjustment, and see what is affecting the sound that you load to a point that you find interesting. And then assign those knobs to the macros, and as you change them all at once, you're going to find yourself really getting out some nice granular texture. Starting off, I'm going to recommend you turn on key tracking for this pitch section over here. That's just going to make it so that your MIDI input is going to affect the pitch of the sample. It's just one more thing to add uniqueness and variation as you do your sound design with the macros later on, as you play those different MIDI notes on your controller. First thing that I noticed I really loved was this speed slider. This will kind of stretch the sound out, and if you bring the slider over to the left, it'll even reverse it. So check this out. So we're already getting some really cool stretching effects. Big fan of that. And we have some pitch bend over here. And then we have some randomization for pitch, and that's going to be determined by this scale slider. I like to keep it at octaves so that it stays centered around that root note that you're playing. And then as we move over to rate, adjusting the rate itself, which sets the rate at which each grain is triggered, is very handy. It's more apparent when you slow the speed down, you can really hear it. And then you can add some randomization to it. And then by default, the rate and length are going to be linked through this button right here. You press that to unlink them, and then you can affect the length independently. What this is sets the grain length itself. Really cool knob that I find I really like twisting around. And then you get some randomization with it. And things that I really like in here are the mult knobs. You'll find one right here and then one up here. These are going to multiply the adjustments of length when you adjust this one, so you can check that out. Basically just make it much more of a dramatic swing as you scale the length of the grain. And then this one up here is going to scale the speed. So you can see from the slider up here what it's doing. This is really multiplying that speed value, and you can get some interesting movement that way. So yeah, this is all just, surface level knob twisting, and we're already hearing so many ways that Refractalizer is going to bring out some zazz from the sample you put into it. And so what I did was I created another instance where I have some of those parameters that we just went through on these macro knobs, and let's hear what it sounds like as you just sort of run through them and twist them around and see what you can get out of the audio. I could just do this all night. It sounds so goopy and textural and weird and pulls you in. Yeah, I mean, listen to the first sample again. It's cool, but it's basic. And you just run it through Refractalizer and you just get so many different variations. And I hear so many possibilities of how I would cut out certain moments of what I would bounce out. And yeah, like this is how you can level up the sound design of your music, how you can make it have that X factor, that the texture that you've been craving. It's a game changer. And then think about the possibilities. You can even take what's coming out of Refractalizer and put it back in to get an exponential refractalization of it and just make it sound even more crazy. I mean, this is such a cool plugin. Check it out. I think you're going to have a lot of fun, again, if you like to throw paint at the wall with your sound design. And shout out to Datamind. You all put out an awesome product. And thanks for checking in.